Yeah, children, today I'm here with you to discuss about the second poem of Robert Frost of CBSE Class 10 book Fire and Ice. So let's start with the stanza. There's first stanza. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So here, desire means a strong feeling of wanting uh, to have something or wishing for something to happen, and favor means approval and support. Here in this stanza the poet is trying to say that the poem expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by ice or fire. One group is of the opinion that someday the earth's core will get so heated up that it would lead to fire, destroying the earth's surface. On the other hand, the second group says that if the temperature goes down to an extent that makes life on Earth impossible, it would have the same catastrophic effect. It means there are two different groups. First group says that the world will end in fire, and second group says that the world will end in ice. The poet then compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions, desire and hatred. He says that from what he is aware about fiery desires, he would favor the ones who say that it would be fire. So in this way, if we say in which side the poet is, so we can say the poet is in the favor of fire, not ice. Means according to the poet, the world will end in fire. Let's move to the second stanza. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Here perish means die, and suffice is be sufficient. In this stanza, the poet says that if the world has to expire twice, ice would be equally competent in ending it. He brings about a contrast between ice and hatred. Means, according to the poet, if world has to end twice, ice is sufficient. The human capability of insensitivity and hatred has the potential for inner destruction. Though slow and steady, it has the same effect that desire has on us. So, if given an option between fire and ice, ice would be just as good as fire to destroy the world. It means in this stanza, the poet says that if world will not end in fire, definitely it will end in ice. Now we discuss about the different poetic devices used in this poem. So you can see rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme of this poem is ABA, ABC and BCB. You can move to the first stanza to understand it better. You can see here the last word of the first line is fire. So if we consider fire as A, uh, fire as A, some say in ice. Second last word of second line is ice. If we consider ice as B, and the last word of third line is again desire. Desire is rhyming with fire, so desire will also be considered with A. So in first stanza the rhyming pattern will be A B A. In the same way, we will give the rhyming pattern in the to the different lines as it is mentioned here: ABA, ABC, BCB. You can understand it better going to the stanza. If you have any doubt, you can comment your question in the video. Second poetic device is assonance. Assonance we have already discussed in the previous poem, that was Dust of Snow. Assonance means it is repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. The repetition is at different places in different words. In example, you can see the line I hold with those who favor fire. You can go to the first stanza and you can see the line I hold with those who favor fire. In this line, in hold, there is O sound. In those, there is O sound. In who, there is O sound. This continuous vowel sound is called assonance. Now moving forward, we can see there is alliteration also. Alliteration we have already understood in the previous poems. Alliteration is a repetition of a consonant sound at the start of two or more closely placed word. So you can again go to the first stanza and see here the first line. In the first line there is word will. In word there is o sound. In will also there is w sound, not o sound, sorry, there is w sound, and in will there is w sound. This is the repetition of consonant sound and will be alliteration. In another example you can see here favor and fire. In favor there is f sound, and in fire also there is f sound. These consonant sound will be alliteration. So this is the example of alliteration. Now the next poetic device is imagery. In imagery what happens, you have a creation of imagination. Like imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their five senses. Example, some say the world will end in fire. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. In this line, there is a creation of imagination of fire and ice into the mind. Such type of poetic device is called imagery. The next one is anaphora. Anaphora is new type of poetic device. It is the repetition of a word or expression at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Like in example, you can say in the first stanza, you can see here in the first line, some say is written, some say, and in the second line again some say is written. This type of continuation of the word in a sentence, in a line, in a different line is called anaphora. Now we move to the next poetic device, which is personification. Personification we have already studied in the previous poem. Personification is to give human qualities to inanimate objects. In this poem, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Thus the poet personifies fire and ice by giving them mind and power to destroy anything. It means in this poem, fire and ice have been personified. Why? Because these two words are performing human qualities. Next one is enjambment. Enjambment we have already studied in the previous poem also. In Dust of Snow it has been used. It is defined as a thought or clause that does not come to an end at a link break, rather it moves over to the next line. It means you will not get punctuation in each and every line. You will get punctuation after 2 lines or 3 lines. Like you can see here in the second stanza, in the second line, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. At the very last there is a punctuation, that is full stop. Such type of poetic device is called enjambment. In this way, this is a very short explanation of the poem Fire and Ice. I hope this is fruitful to you, this is understood to you. If you have any doubt, you can mention your comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.